This is Psychosocial Problems Part 6, Stress and Coping. Many adolescents report difficulty in coping with stressful situations at home or at school. And some of these stressors can be things like major life changes, like a parental divorce, changing schools, having somebody in the family suddenly pass or become seriously ill. It can include chronically stressful situations like poverty or disabling illness or constant family conflict. And it can include day-to-day hassles like exams or a fight with a friend or a breakup or arguments with siblings. But for some adolescents, exposure to stress can result in internalizing disorders or externalizing disorders or substance abuse. But for others, the very same source and level of stress doesn't seem to be upsetting at all or be associated with these things. So it really is all about variability in how individuals react and cope with stressful situations. Some adolescents just show an enormous amount of resilience in the face of adversity. Resilience is that ability to function competently, even in adverse situations. So why the difference? In general, the effects of stress is exacerbated if it's accompanied by other stress. Multiple stressors obviously have a much greater impact than a single stressor. In other words, stress can have this multiplicative effect. Adolescents who have other resources, either internal or external, so things like high self-esteem, they know mindfulness activities, they have high intelligence, strong feelings of competence, belief in the capacity for people to actually change. External resources like social support from others, strong family bonds, these are people who are better able than their peers to cope with stress. Studies consistently show that the presence of a close parent-adolescent relationship is probably the single most important factor in protecting an adolescent from psychological harm. We've talked about that a lot in this class. And then lastly, the use of coping strategies. So while resources does sound like that, you can have the resources for coping strategies and know what they are, but if you don't actually use them, they're not doing much good. So some adolescents actually use more strategies than others. And that's it. Friends, we're done. That is your last slide of the semester. Congratulations. Great job. I'm so proud of you. That's going to conclude this video. And that's going to conclude this lecture. And that's going to conclude this semester.